Hello internet friends. In this video I'm continuing to work on the fuel tanks. Specifically I think the left fuel tank. And one of the steps is to match drill some J channel. So that's what we're going to do. It says to measure a 54-inch length of J channel. And when you're working with J channel, the most important thing is to make sure that you're working with the right length of J channel. What do I mean by that? Vans ships 2 lengths of J channel. Now I'm curious what lengths show up at Vans for them to cut, but basically they ship an 8-foot length and a 6-foot length. And most of the things you do or you build out of this J channel is with the 6-foot length. But it's pretty easy to accidentally grab the 8-foot length and then cut that and then not have a long enough J channel for things like fuselage, stiffeners, or I actually don't know where else to do it. I'm trying to remember. I think there's some J channel, in the wings, and they're basically used for stiffeners. What I did find out from support, if you do accidentally do that, then you can just overlap the J channel by like 3 or 4 rivets and kind of piece them together, so you don't need one long continuous piece, although that's the way it's designed. But anyway, it's better if you just use the correct piece. So before you cut the J channel, make sure you're using the appropriate length, because otherwise then, you gotta buy new parts and you gotta wait for shipping, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and then after you cut the J channel, then for the fuel tank at least, it wants you to match drill the fuel tank to the J channel. So obviously you need to do that before any dimpling occurs. So this is a scenario where reading the plans and doing the steps in the right order are important. It's very easy to get ahead of yourself. Like once you're at this stage and you've been building for a year or 2 or 3 or 4, you kind of just have a feeling of what you need to do and what steps need to happen. And so you look at a piece of metal and you say, oh, there's some holes there and I need to rivet things to those holes. And you kind of just go through the motions of doing that. And it's easy to get ahead of yourself. So that's one of the things that I find myself having to force myself to do, is stop and think about what I'm doing and checking the plans. So if you're watching videos or any of my videos and you are seeing me look at the laptop and like try to figure things out, I'm reading through the plans and then watching other people's YouTube videos to remember like, oh, well, how did they do this? And that helps me from, or tries to keep me from making mistakes. Although I'm pretty sure I don't know if it's in this video or next, but since I needed to make 2 pieces of J channel, since there's 2 tanks, a right and left, then I was like, well, I'll just measure or use this J channel to measure out how much I need to cut out of the next J channel, and I accidentally grabbed a 8-foot piece instead of a 6-foot piece. Luckily I realized my mistake before I actually cut it, but just a mistake that could happen. And mistakes like that are annoying. Let's see. What else is annoying? Apparently my HOA got a new HOA management company, and so they've been deciding to enforce all the rules, like no parking on the street. So that's been annoying because they keep putting a sticker on my car saying, hey, you're parked on the street. And I tried telling them, hey, I have 7 kids in my household and 6 cars, so like fitting those all in my driveway with all the cars and motorcycles and airplanes is a challenge. Can I just have a permit to park on the street? Or at least 1 car until someone goes to college and takes cars. Like that's basically my plan. Please leave. Please take this car. The challenge of having teenagers. Let's see, what else? Oh, so now we're on to the baffle. So, what do we gotta do in the baffle? I think we Quico it and then dimple it. Do we dimple? Oh no, we're not dimpling. We're match drawing or match drawing. We're countersinking. So the baffle was actually just acting as a guide for the drill. So that in the next video, we'll be countersinking the tank skin. And if you are also countersinking things, come join our chat groups. Scan these QR codes and you'll get the invite on your device. And we will see you there and see you in the next video.